I saved up some of my fragrance empties so that we could go through them. I think I have full thoughts now that I've used up some full sizes and some travel sizes of the fragrances in my collection. Let's do a fragrance empties video. If you like this style of video, let me know because I have an entire fragrance wall. If you've seen that video, you know that I created an entire fragrance wall in one of my walk-in closets and it turned out so good. But now I see that I have tons of fragrances. They were like hidden everywhere before that, and now that it's all in one place, I've decided that I need to get through as many as possible. Fragrances that I love, fragrances that I don't love. I'm not trying to just hoard and keep a whole full wall of fragrances for the rest of my life. So I'm going to be doing more fragrance empties. So if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to Nubelease and I will come back for more empties to let you know whether these are like worth the money or not. Let's start with this one. This is the Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet. I really love this fragrance. This is one of my favorite scents. I really love floral scents, and it depends on like what the mood is, but definitely around like spring, summertime, like I end up going for my florals more than anything. This is a top notes of bergamot, sweet pea, middle notes of peony and damask rose, and the base note is white musk. You can really smell like the musk and then all the sweetness. You really don't get, to me, a lot of bergamot in this fragrance. To me, it's more of the peony and sweet pea and the white musk. I love this fragrance, especially like if you like floral fragrances, but you don't want to necessarily smell like exactly like a flower. Like for me, I love floral fragrances, but I'm not necessarily a big fan of like smelling like a lily or like directly like a rose. So I love that like the other fragrance notes are taking over here and not just the rose scent. I finished up this is a mid-size bottle. I can't remember if this is like the 1 ounce. I think this is probably like their 1 ounce, and I'll definitely come back to this. I won't be buying it just this time because I know that I have other fragrances, other floral fragrances to get through. But once I get through more of my fragrance wall, I will come back to this because I love having it in my collection. Next, let's talk about the YSL Black Opium, and this is in Illicit Green. This was actually a gift from one of my best friends. I had it on my list as soon as it came out, like a few years ago, and I just knew that it was going to be for me, and she was so kind enough to like buy it for me, so I was super excited. This has top notes of pear, fig leaf, and green mandarin, and then the middle notes are fig, orange blossom, and jasmine, and then in the base, it's bourbon vanilla, coffee, and patchouli. This is one of those fragrances that smells so good in the bottle. I love this scent. I really get a lot of the like pear and mandarin, but then it just like the base of it comes through with the like vanilla, and it ends up like grounding it a lot more. Sometimes like when you think of like illicit green or like mandarin and like fig, you're thinking about like a real green kind of fragrance, like almost to the point where it's like, okay, I don't know if I want to really smell like citrus leaf, but it's not like that at all. And I think it's because of the vanilla and coffee patchouli in the base. It really gives it like a grounded but sweet scent, something that doesn't feel like kiddish at all. But unfortunately, like now that I've gone through like this whole bottle, this is the 30 ounces or 30 milliliters, so like the 1 ounce, this doesn't smell as good on me, on my body, as it does in the bottle. And I'm so sad about that because I love this fragrance. I feel like it may change a little bit depending on like your body chemistry and like what tends to work on you, because every time I smell this fragrance, I love it, love it, love it. I've worn it over and over again and it still just smells just okay on me. It doesn't really smell that great, to the point where like I won't buy this again. I just am sad that it doesn't smell as good on me. That's one of the things, like when you're a beauty lover and a fragrance lover, certain things may just not translate with your body chemistry. For me, I know a scent note of fig is one of those fragrances that like can go either way on me. I love fig like as a fragrance, but sometimes fig just doesn't smell that great on me. Do I feel like it's worth it? That's the other question. I feel like from what I've smelled from like the Black Opium line and what I have, I feel like this Illicit Green is the most different out of like the Black Opium. So if you are looking for something that is just not just like a slightly different change from all of the other Black Opiums, this one to me so far has been the most different and the most like complex that they have. And so if you're looking for something like that, then give this one a try. It's definitely worth it. I just wish it smelled better on me. This is the Lancôme La Vie Belle Eau de Parfum. This is in a special packaging that they don't sell anymore, but it's beautiful. It has like this like star sparkle sort of like extra design on it, but it is just the La Vie Belle Eau de Parfum. I was actually gifted this to test and try for Lancôme and give my review, but that was a few years back and I finally got through it. I sort of forgot about this fragrance and then came back to it, which is kind of sad because I ended up loving it and when I got back into it. This is the thing. Before I did my fragrance wall, I had fragrances just everywhere. And so I think this kind of just got pushed to the back or in a corner and then I found it again. The top notes are black currant and pear. The middle notes are iris, jasmine, and orange blossom. And the base notes are praline, vanilla, patchouli, and tonka bean. This fragrance smells really good, but this is more of what I would consider like a more mature scent, even more than something like the Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet. I think there's like a lightness to that scent that could really lean young or mature. This is more of a mature fragrance if you want to do something that is like, I don't know, more like a mature sweet scent. I think that like when beauties get older, they're not trying to really smell like caramel all the time or smell like candy all the time. And so I feel like this is like a fragrance that you could like gift your mom or like, you know, give to like someone older, your aunt or something like that, because it's gonna have like really beautiful notes like the vanilla and that like praline scent comes through. But then because of the top, I smell more jasmine than anything. Yeah, I smell more jasmine than anything and a little bit of black currant. So I really feel like it gives it that depth and makes it a little bit more serious. This is a really great gifting scent. I really do think it is. And there's a few other La Vie Belle scents that I also like, but I think that every time I wore this, I felt like more serious, like that I was like giving classy lady, but not grandma, but classy lady. I do love this scent and I'm definitely going to buy this again, but just once I get through more of my fragrances. Definitely worth it. This is the OG. This is Donna Karan Cashmere Mist. And I have the Eau de Toilette here in like a travel size kind of size version. And then I also have it in the Eau de Parfum as like a little travel spray. This is a spray, not like a roller. This is probably controversial, but I still love this scent. And when I say still love, I mean like Donna Karan Cashmere Mist like goes through these waves of like where people hate it, it's old lady, and then it comes back and then people love it again and then hate it and love it. I've loved this fragrance since forever, like literally forever, and I only really wear it during one time of day and in one scenario, and that's after my shower. If I'm more of an evening shower person, so after I do my evening routine, I typically like a powdery clean scent to like go to bed because I always wear a fragrance to bed, whether it was that I showered that night or in the morning. This has notes of lily of the valley at the top, Moroccan jasmine in the mid, and sandalwood at the base. And it's considered like a warm and spicy floral, but for me, like I always end up feeling like this is just like a powdery scent. I really don't get the same fragrance notes that like is on the description, but maybe it's because it's eau de toilette. I don't know. Let me look at like the other one. No, I feel like this, maybe it's just the lily of the valley, like that gives me like a powderiness that I just love, and it feels like clean to me. It smells clean to me. I don't ever wear this fragrance like purposefully, like on a night out or for an event. It's not my daytime scent. It's just strictly like my after shower scent. I still love it. It may be an old lady scent, you know, but I'm just gonna be using this for the rest of my life, like going to bed. I love it. I not only am I going to like keep purchasing this, but I still have like another full size and another travel size. So I have a full size of like the Eau de Parfum. I have a mini of the Eau de Toilette, another one. And as quiet as it's kept, the Donna Karan Cashmere Mist, like in the other fragrances they have a few more, are like really good, like very quietly kept, like bomb fragrances. I got a travel size version of like some of the other iterations that they have. So good, like every single one, to the point where like me and my friends like smelled them all and we're like, oh no, we need full sizes of all of these other ones. So good. So definitely check out Donna Karan, even if you don't think you'll like some of their like other versions of Cashmere Mist. You will. I think you will. Just so I remember too, like what I mean is the Donna Karan Cashmere collection. They have fragrances like that are similar. They're all in the Cashmere collection, but they're slightly different. And those are the ones that are so, so good, like quietly good. There's one that's Cashmere and Wild Fig. There's Cashmere and Tiara Flower. I think that's how you pronounce it. Cashmere Palo Santo, and then Cashmere Vanilla Essence. Tea. Like, y'all need to check these out. This is a fragrance that I sort of like fell into by accident and didn't realize it and love it. This is a really affordable fragrance too. The Solo Notes Tonka Eau de Parfum. This is something that came in like one of those sets from Macy's, like kind of like how Sephora does their favorite sets. There's always these like Macy's Discovery sets. I think it was in one of those, and I immediately loved it. This is musky. It's got tonka bean. It's got amber, mandarin blossom, balsam, vanilla bean. It's just got like a little bit of everything. And that musk and tonka bean at the top just does it for me. Like, it's so good. It's so like deep. It's like the tonka bean gives it like this like woodiness that is still sweet that I love. And especially because like it's an affordable fragrance, I found myself gravitating toward this a lot because it wasn't like special. It was just like, ooh, I love this scent. I'll just like spray it whenever. I definitely feel like I'm going to get a full size of this, just not anytime soon. I've got way too many fragrances, but when I come back around to it, I'm going to remember this because it has such a unique musk tonka with vanilla type of fragrance profile that I don't have in anything else, at least that I know of right now. Y'all know I got the whole wall to get through. Let's get into some of these travel sizes, and then we'll finish off with like fragrance sprays or like, yeah, perfume sprays. But let's do some travel. This is one of my favorite Kayali scents. It's hard for you to see the writing, but it's the Kayali Deja Vu White Flower. I love this fragrance. This is like one of the fragrances that like is not as popular from Kayali, but I have my opinions on that. I'm not gonna do like a whole story about it, but I really feel like Kayali is losing its luster for me. It is one of my favorite fragrance brands, but they are very much leaning into the younger, fruity scent demographic that is just like not really for me as a millennial. Like, you know, I'm trying to get into like my grown lady scents, and just coming out with the fruity mangoes is just like throwing me off. But back in the day when we first started to love Kayali, it was because they had these really uniquely like profiled scents that brand you something different than just like the same old designer brands. And I hope that they swing back into that. One of the scents that I love by them is the Deja Vu White Flower. This is gardenia, nectarine, and pear in the top. It's tuberose, Italian jasmine, and orange blossom in the mid. And the base note is Tahitian vanilla, cashmere woods, patchouli, and sandalwood. A lot of the fragrances that I love kind of have these same sort of notes. I love jasmine. I love vanilla. If you give me cashmere, if you give me like tonka, sandalwood, like those are like the fragrances. Pairing all that together is like what I like to wear going out. So I love this fragrance. I have this travel size, and then I have the other travel size, you know, when they do like the mini version travel sizes. But this is something I like to keep in my collection because I feel like it always smells good on me. And it's probably because it has some of those fragrance notes that I love on myself. And it's got like a little bit of uniqueness with the gardenia and a little touch of sweetness with like the nectarine and pear. This is very much worth it. This is kind of like if you like more mature scents that smell a little bit more luxury, then I think that this is going to be a good one for you to try. Love it so much. We'll continue to buy this one. I also finished a Phlur Vanilla Skin. This is one of my favorite vanillas ever, like ever. Phlur does a really great job with their fragrances that can kind of be your everyday scent, but also feels more special and elevated. I will say this though, Phlur does a great job with their fragrance mist to the point where I don't really feel like their eau de parfums are worth it. That's a good thing and a bad thing because, you know, you can save money by just, you know, doing their fragrance mist. But also I wish that the eau de parfums were actually like stronger and carried more. I find that like the EDPs and these fragrance mists and their fragrance mists like carry the same amount, like have the same projection and last the same amount, same time frame. So there's no point in getting the EDPs. I have a full size of Vanilla Skin as the fragrance mist and like a travel size, and I will keep that in my collection because this is, like I said, one of my favorite vanillas. I just don't think that the EDP is worth it. You can definitely get away with like just the Phlur fragrance mist if you really love these fragrances. This one, top note is sugar, pink pepper, and apple, and immediately you get the sugar. That's what I love. I just love this. Like it's sweet and sort of the gourmandness of it, but like not in a little girl type of way. The mid note is the cashmere wood, jasmine, and lily, and I think that's what gives it the air of like seriousness with the fragrance and doesn't take it to like a summer vacation sort of like silly way. And then base notes are vanilla, sandalwood, agarwood, and benzoin. And benzoin can go either way for me. Like some of those like unique notes kind of, yeah, sometimes they don't smell as great. I love this. This is one of the best vanillas ever, and I love it so much. I feel like I just talk crap about like fruity fragrances, but I do love fruity fragrances, and I'm probably gonna eat my words because I'm getting through a lot of these fragrances that I love to wear in the fall, winter, and then when I come back, I'm gonna have all of these like fruity pebble at fragrances. I'm not gonna cuss, and y'all gonna be like, "Girl, you lied. Like you do like fruit," and I do. Just from these ones though, I'm just like these are so good as like really like grown lady scents, kind of some sexy scents coming in too. So love this one. Definitely worth it. Definitely try it. Don't worry about getting the eau de parfum with Phlur. Get the fragrance mist. They're gonna carry the same. This is one of the more unique scents that I've ever tried. This is the Maison Martin Margiela, their Replica line, and this is Matcha Meditation. Very interesting fragrance. Like, I guess I wasn't sure what I was getting from this. Of course, there are replicas to, replicate the same sort of scent profile of whatever the name is and remind you of that. So, like on the fragrance description, it says Zen scents of matcha tea. And I kind of feel like it does that, but there's just something more to this. And I feel like my nose ended up smelling more of the white chocolate in this fragrance than anything. So this is green tea, bergamot, and mandarin orange in the top. Middle notes of jasmine, matcha tea, and matte in the mid, and orange blossom in the mid. And then the base is white chocolate, moss, and cedar. When I smell this fragrance, like it just smells like white chocolate and some greenness. So maybe that green tea and the moss kind of comes and the cedar comes through. On the body, on my body, it ends up smelling like a leafy green with a little bit of sweetness. And I liked it, but I don't think I would ever get like a full size of this. However, this is one of the most unique fragrances I've ever had. And so I love like going back to Replica and their different scents because they make some of the most unique fragrances and I love that. So I'm always down to try like a new travel size from the Replica line. I enjoyed this. This ended up becoming one of the scents that I wore like after my shower, after a bath, just to kind of like give myself that like clean sort of scent. It's not clean, cotton fresh scent, kind of like scent. It's more of a chocolatey green kind of fresh, if that makes sense. This is the Khloé Kardashian. You can't really see, but it's like the first fragrance she came out with, the XO Khloé fragrance, and I was so disappointed by this. This to me is like not worth it, and I'm glad that I got a travel size. The top notes are rose petal, lavender, and sage. The middle notes is praline, peach, and orange blossom. And the base note is musk, woody notes, tonka bean, and moss. So on the description, I blind bought this one when it first came out. I was like, well, these are all things that I love. Like every single one of these fragrance notes are fragrance notes that I love. Sometimes lavender can get a little home fragrancy to me, and so sometimes I don't like that one. But anyway, these are mostly fragrances that scent notes that I love. One of my friends like gave a really good description of this. She was like, this smells like everything all in one scent. Like you tried to do too much because you did the rose petals to make it like floral, but then you did peach to make it more sweet. And then you gave it musk notes. Then you gave it sage and orange blossom with the lavender, which makes it kind of like an essential oil kind of like scent. And it's like you did too much and then it ended up becoming like a bland sweet. No, not sweet. A bland generic fragrance. I can't even describe this because it's not totally sweet. It's not totally floral. Definitely not woody or deep in any way. It's just like generic perfume. Like I don't even know, like think of the most random put together generic perfume and that's what this is. I would not suggest this one. I have smelled the XO Khloé purple one and that one is still just okay. Like when I smelled it, it was just okay and I wasn't like moved to buy it. So just leave it at the store. This one pains me because it's one of my favorite fragrances and they never decided to make a full-size version of it and are mostly like phasing out the line. This is the Rare Beauty Fine Comfort fragrance that they have in both their like body care lotion. They did like a hand lotion, a fragrance mist that I still have, and then only in travel did they create like the eau de parfums. I love this fragrance so much. Like this is like, again, going back to the like after shower, after bath, kind of like clean fragrance that I just love so much. I really feel like they did a great job with it. You can't find this very much. You can find it at like Sephora Kohl's on sale, maybe a few times like in a Sephora, but it only comes like this travel size only comes like with a duo set that has the body lotion. And I do still have a few more of the body lotions and the fragrance spray. So I'm going to use through them. I'm not going to hoard them and then just let that be that. But I don't think that they're going to keep this. I think they've moved on to like the new fragrance that they have, and I've smelled that one. It's pretty good, but this just has my heart. I hate that I can't get these in like big sizes in this eau de parfum. The top notes are zest, lemon zest, pomelo, rhubarb, and the middle note is black tea, violet, and jasmine, and then the base note is cashmere wood, vetiver, and tonka. The zesty lemon comes at you immediately. So if you don't like lemony fragrances, like that freshness that comes from lemon zest, then it wouldn't be for you. But paired with the rhubarb and then the middle notes, I really feel like it just comes to like this really airy, springy sort of like crispness that is clean to me and smells really great on the skin, especially after you just like had your everything shower. Like, I love it so much. I don't get very much of the cashmere, the base notes. I don't get very much of the cashmere, vetiver, and tonka, but I don't mind that because I loved it so much. This is definitely worth it. You can probably find this on sale to give it a chance, but don't fall in love with it because I think it's on its way out. Wait, there's still some left. What was I thinking? Oh no. Me trying to get everything I can out of this fragrance because I love it so much. I still have another one of these and I already said that, the fragrance spray and 2 more of the body lotions, the little travel size body lotions. Editing Hanya here. When I sprayed the Fine Comfort Rare Beauty fragrance, I did not realize that it sprayed all over my neck and was just dripping down my neck for the rest of the video. There's like 15 minutes left of footage and I go through probably 4, 5, 6 more scents actually. And so I'm just gonna have to cut it here. Like, it is so distracting to see the dripped fragrance down my neck that I just cannot possibly go on with the video. So I am so sorry, y'all. Maybe what I can do is just go ahead and enter the footage of what I was saying with just the image. But yeah, sorry. That was so embarrassing. Bye. Okay, that is everything. I just went through all of my fragrance empties. Thank you for sticking around to hear me yap about fragrances and get on my soapbox about a few different brands. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and I'll come back for more because I will always have fragrances to be talking about, whether they're like mini, like vial sizes, all the way up to full sizes. When a fragrance comes across my beauty desk, you can bet that I will try it. I don't deny any fragrance, and a lot of times I'll share my more immediate thoughts and I'll be doing fragrance of the days on my Instagram stories. That's kind of like where I give my unfiltered at the moment thoughts. So follow at Nubelease on Instagram, TikTok, on Facebook, on Pinterest, and of course check out Nubelease.com because I do reviews and things like that there. I'll be back with more things about fragrance. Let me know what you want to see next and what are your favorite fragrances that I need to try.